Hey, welcome back to Riffs and Rides. This is Barry, and today we're going to be doing the Talking Heads, Once in a Lifetime. And the Talking Heads are a really cool band. Obviously, I know this song. I've heard it a million times. I was kind of a big Talking Heads fan back in the day. Not a huge Talking Heads fan, but I liked their music. I thought it was pretty original back in the day for sure. But this is off the Remain in Light album, excuse me. And this was one of their big hits. If you don't know the Talking Heads, it's David Byrne. You know, he does this stuff like this and wears the big giant shoulder pads, all that stuff. But it's a great song. And God, I have not heard this song in years and years and years. And so this is going to be kind of a reaction to a song I know. If I hear anything unusual in there, I'm gonna stop it. We'll talk about it a little bit, but let's just jump right on in here. Talking Heads.
You may find yourself living in a shotgun shack, and you may find yourself in another part of the world, and you may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile, and you may find yourself in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife, and you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here?
So the rhythm to this is just so good. It's a kind of a universal thing. You could probably write hundreds of songs and use this same pattern in there. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. And the drums is just really, really good. Not real hard. Nothing's real hard in this. It just feels good. It's just kind of got a real feel good to it. And the keyboards, the stuff going on in it, it's just, you've got a little bit different kind of a synthesized sound, some noise going over here and a little bit over here. But I love it. Let's just start it over, and then I'll let it play through the chorus. Hear the tom? Doom, 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 doom.
And you may find yourself living in a shotgun shack, and you may find yourself in another part of the world, and you may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile, and you may find yourself in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife, and you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue again. After the money's gone, once in a lifetime, water flowing underground. And you may ask yourself, how do I work this? And you may ask yourself, where is that large automobile? And you may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful house. And you may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful wife. Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue again. After the money's gone, once in a lifetime, water flowing underground. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was.
For some reason, I was thinking that the chorus on it might have been a changed time signatures, but I don't think it. I'm pretty sure it's still 4/4. There was something about that tom where it's coming in, doom, doom, coming in like that. And then when it comes out, it hits doom, and then again. So they play the tom twice, I think, in there. Let's do it. Let's back it up just for the end of that. There it was.
Same as it ever
Doom,
was.
doom, see?
Same as it ever was. 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 Water dissolving and water removing. There is water at the bottom of the
No kidding.
Under the water, carry the water. Remove the water, remove the water, remove the water, letting the days go by. Let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by. Water flowing underground into the blue again, into the silent water, under the rocks
Shit.
and stones. There is water underground. Letting the days go by. Let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by. Water flowing underground into the blue again, after the body's gone. Once in a lifetime, water flowing underground. You may ask yourself, what is that beautiful house? You may ask yourself, where does that highway go to? And you may ask yourself, am I right? Am I wrong? And you may say to yourself, my God, what have I done? Letting the days go by. Let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by. Water flowing underground into the blue again, into the silent water,
There we
under
go.
the rocks and stones. There is water underground. Letting the days go by. Let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by. Water flowing underground into the
There
blue
it is.
again, after the money's gone. Once in a lifetime, water flowing underground. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Look where my hand was. Time isn't holding up. Time isn't after us. Same as it ever was.
Same as it ever was.
Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. And here a twister comes. Here comes the twister. Same as it ever was. 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 Once in a lifetime.
Was another gonna do. Great song, great band. I love the rhythm section of that. I was trying to figure out the drum pattern. I finally got it. It does change up in the chorus a little bit, but it's very cool. You know, it's pretty much the same everything all the way through, and the lyrics, the way he sings it is kind of pulls the melody out. I mean, it's the melody of the song basically. Just a lot of weird stuff going in there. The Talking Heads, you know, they started out really in the punk scene, playing at CBGB's in the '70s, which I kind of never really understood that whole thing, because to me the Talking Heads they're definitely not punk. I've never really delved into their whole history, but you had Blondie that came out of the same scene. The Ramones were there. So when I think of the CBGBs, you know, I think of, you know, punk, and not necessarily this. But I don't know. I wasn't there, but I definitely dig it though. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Talking Heads, Once in a Lifetime. Just a real quick story. I just need to share this. You can't see it, but there's a set of little Bose speakers back up here, 301 Series 2 speakers. When I was 15 years old, my mom was going to buy me, so I was trying to put together my first real stereo system. You know, the old sound design crap was out. I needed a real stereo, and I'd gotten a Technics receiver, and then I've got like a Sony cassette deck, or maybe it came later. But anyway, so she took me to what was then known as I can't even remember it now. But it wasn't a big box store, but a sound stereo shop. Maybe it was a stereo shop. Might have been what it was called. And they took me into the little speaker room, and they were showing me all these. I was looking for these monster tall speakers, you know. And he said, "Here, I want you to hear these speakers." And he pointed to those little bitty Bose bookshelf speakers. And he pulls out this disc. It was silver, chrome looking thing. And he said, "This is called a CD, a compact disc." And he said, "You can't scratch them and all this stuff, and you can get fingerprints so you don't have to worry about anything. And then he puts it on, and the song was Burning Down the House, Talking Heads. And I just remember just the complete silence, you know, because of CD. And then all of a sudden, boom! And man, in that little specially designed speaker room and those little bitty speakers, I was like, okay, I'm done. Sold. So, it's not those speakers. I actually cut the original speakers up and stuck them in back of a Corvette like a dumbass. But I did find some on Facebook Marketplace. So I said, you know what? I got to go get them just because when I was a kid, it was just part of me when I was a kid. So anyway, that's my stupid story. And that's maybe one of the reasons Talking Heads kind of means a little bit more to me than to some people. Just for that stupid story right there. So, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and please click like down below and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, because you guys are the ones that really keep this going. And gosh, share this video with your friends, and we'll see you next time here on Refs and Rides.